Hey, Restoration Church, it is Brian here. Glad you made it for a leftovers edition. I keep finding new spots to do the leftovers in. We still have a Christmas tree up right, right back there. I'm not doing that again. I did that in the leftovers not long ago. For those of you that are only listening to this on podcast, I pointed in the wrong direction on where the Christmas tree was. I'm in a corner of my basement. You're getting to see some more of my basement, and I wanted to do the leftovers here because my office is a little bit cold still. So I didn't turn the heat on, and it can get chilly, and I didn't want to bring all the equipment out there when it's in the basement, and yada yada. You get the idea. Anyway, the leftovers is not about telling you about how I want to do things and not do things and how cold my office is. The leftovers is where we discuss some things from the message that was given on Sunday. And I hope you guys aren't sick of me yet and my voice because I've been doing these 2 times a week with the sermon on Sunday and then also doing these leftovers videos. But I just wanted to I wanted to be a little bit lighter, if that's okay. Not weight-wise, but just mood-wise. I feel like the last couple of weeks, it seems like I get into this rut of trying to make everything really poignant and impactful and powerful, and in doing so it kind of loses its luster a little bit, I think. And so I was convicted myself when I went back and listened to the message of like, hey, let's lighten things up a little bit. Let's just let's be convicted about things, but let's also just have a good time. For those of you who know me, I hope you know that I like to have a good time. I like to joke around. I like to have fun. And that's one of the things that I really wanted Restoration Church to be was a place where you could have a lot of fun, where it could be a joyful type of experience, yet still a place where you get truth and we say the things that need to be said and we do the hard things that need to be done. You know what I mean? Like, I just, I want to have this nice balance. And lately the balance has been shifting more towards like, oh man, that was pretty heavy. Again, let's loosen up a little bit, you know? I don't know. I just want to be a little bit lighter if I can. So when it's necessary and it makes sense. So with this leftovers, how you guys doing, by the way? You good? Good. With this leftovers, I wanted to key in a little bit more on discernment and talk about that. We kind of touched on it just briefly before we got to the rest of the message with the plank in my eye versus the speck in your eye. And we hit on discernment at the beginning, which was at the end of the passage that we read in Matthew chapter 7, verse 6, talking about, you know, don't throw the pearl to the swine and get trampled on, and then they're going to turn to you and be violent and stuff. And that whole that verse and not really making much sense until we dug further and realized that this was a verse about discernment, like know who to give those drops of wisdom to, that knowledge, that correction, that restoration. Some people are not willing to accept it, and that's an okay thing. It doesn't mean we don't love them. It doesn't mean we don't try. It doesn't, well, it does sometimes. It doesn't mean that we don't stop loving that person. It just means that I'm going to have discernment on how much to tell and how much to give. And so I think we can look at that in a lot of different ways. And I think one of the things I want to just touch on briefly with discernment is not only on who you say it to, but also on how you say it and the medium in which you use to say it. So discernment can be a well-rounded kind of this 360-degree view of what discernment is. It's not just who you say it to, it's also how you say it. Am I saying it in a loving way? Am I discerning when I'm speaking to you? This is one thing I like about preaching live, is that I can gauge kind of the reaction of the congregation and say, okay, do I need to press into this a little bit more, or do I need to back up a little bit? Do we need a joke here? Can I feel the tension in the room? Like, all of those types of things are things that go through my mind when I'm preaching. And so when I'm in front of a person, or when we're in front of a person, we can see the cues that they're getting. Like, are they accepting what I'm saying, or are they getting angry? That's a part of discernment as well. But then also, not just who I'm saying it to and how I'm saying it, but also the medium I'm using. So if I need to have a difficult conversation with a person, it probably shouldn't be over text, because that's not a great way to do things. So if at all possible, in person. If that's not possible, a phone call, and then if that's not possible, just wait until that can happen. Unless it's something super formal, then I guess it could be an email. But what I'm getting at is make it personable. And when I say make it personable, I don't say put it on your personal Facebook page or Twitter page or Instagram post or any of those types of things. That's also discernment. It's like, should I post this or should I not post this? If I post this, how is it going to be received? How are people going to react to this thing? And what's going to be the outcome of this? And think through all those scenarios. And that's a level of discernment as well that we can all learn. So if you have something that you need to post on social media, look at a couple of different lenses before you do so, and just make sure that this is exactly how you want to say it, what you want to say, and that it's going to be received well. Try to think through all of those different things. And so those are all types of discernment. The pearls, we can throw a lot of pearls on social media and they get trampled on, don't they? I'm sure you've felt that before. It's so much better if it's just a one-on-one convo or within a very, very small group. And so those are the things that I want to encourage. And that's just a little bit more on discernment. We're going to be back talking about prayer this coming Sunday. We're going to be live on YouTube at 10 a.m. and on Facebook at noon. The podcast drops at 11. So there's a lot to catch. And you can listen to all of them if you want to. Or just one. Probably just one. And we will see you guys soon. Take care.